Hi guys, I just want to come to you today and talk to you little bit about equal and unequal exchange. We all know what an equal exchange is. If I give you $100 worth of products and you give me $100, we are therefore an equal exchange. If I give you $100 worth of products and you don't give me any money, then we're an unequal exchange. So many times people, when they get in unequal exchange with you, just like if you give somebody a sample, a 3-day pack, or you mix up one of the little packages and you give it to them, and you ask them, did you try it, did you like it, or whatever. Some people will give you their honest answer and say, yes, I did, no, I didn't. And we all know it's not for everybody, but those people that'll say, no, I didn't try it, or whatever, they're in equal exchange with you because they're giving you an honest answer. Sometimes people will say, oh yes, I tried it, but I didn't like it, whatever. A lot of times they didn't really give it a try. And so they become an unequal exchange with you, just like with any other business. So if they did not really give the 30-day Plexus a try or whatever, they took 2 or 3 and they give it back to you and they say, I didn't try it, and I didn't, they say, I tried it and I didn't like it, it didn't work for me, or whatever. That's called an unequal exchange. And when people get an unequal exchange of you, they're either going to do one of 2 things. They're either just going to avoid you, or they're going to talk about you, your products, your company, whatever. And we all have those people in our life that have done that. And what we need to do when people start doing that is just to just stay nice to them. Just, oh, okay, be nice to them and try to go with that, because a lot of time it's just not the right time in their life. They have gotten in unequal exchange with you, and if you retaliate or you are negative back to them, it does not leave that door open for them to come back. So bless them and release them, and if you stay in positive with that, then that's going to leave that door open for them to come back to you at a later date. And we all want that door to stay open so that they can come back to us at a later date. I want to talk to you a little bit about ambassadors that are in an unequal exchange with us. We have some ambassadors that stay with the company and a time, and some of them do well with the company and decide that they want to leave, and then some stay with a company just a short time. They don't get their business off, and so they get in an equal exchange with us. And it's their upline wasn't a good enough upline, whatever the case is. And really, most of the time it has to do with themselves, not their upline, not their sideline, not anybody else. They just for whatever reason didn't give it their all. They didn't use the products. They didn't use the products. They didn't use the tools that Plexus offers. And right now, if you join Plexus, you have a back office. Whether you have a great leader or you do not have a great leader, you have the tools to make your Plexus business rock. So sometimes people just leave the company for whatever reason. They they just get dissatisfied or whatever. And always, if you have someone like that, try to bless and release them, because you never know when they're going to come back and when they're going to be in the product in the business with you. And so many times it doesn't have anything to do with our company. It doesn't have anything to do with their upline. It has to do with them. That most of the time, that's what an unequal exchange is. They just didn't give it their all for whatever reason. It may be a financial reason. It could be they have crisis in their life. It could be so many factors, but most of the time when people get in an unequal exchange, they have to have somebody to blame. And we've got to learn not to take that personal. Do not take that in on yourself. You can pray for them. You can tell them that you'd be glad to help them at a different time, whatever, but just leave those doors open. We have ambassadors that do really well with Plexus, and for whatever reason, they get on a coasting thing, and they decide that they don't have to put any work into it. Their business kind of fails. They, whatever, and they get in an equal exchange with everybody, with the company, with everybody around them, and just try not to. Just try not to engage in that. Just bless and release them. And at some later date, they may want to rejoin. You just never know. You just have to leave those options open. And for one thing for sure, we cannot make somebody do something that they don't want to do or they don't feel like they need to do. Whether you feel like Plexus is the best place for you, you can't make the next person feel that. I've been Plexus for 5 years. I'm Plexus every day. If you see me, I am Plexus. Always have. Never wavered. Even when we had a few issues with different things, I've never wavered. If you come to my salon, you're going to see I'm Plexus every day. If you see me out, I'm Plexus. And I want to talk to you a little bit about it being an unequal exchange with yourself. So many times we discredit who we're meant to be. We have been in other multi-level marketing companies. We have been in bad relationships. We've been in whatever. And I believe that Plexus is a wonderful tool. I believe God's given me Plexus. I've always said that, never deny that. I was in a bad place in my life. I needed it, and I believe He gave it to me. I've never been a leader per se, didn't know anything about that. In the very beginning, we didn't have all the things that we have now. I went to my first meeting. On the way to my meeting, I phoned Allison up. I was like, Allison, you've got to give me some more information. I don't know what I'm doing. When I got there, I ended up calling Angie in the middle of the meeting because I didn't know. And instead of my not knowing, I didn't let that stop me. I just kept going. But sometimes we decide that we're not a leader or we're not whatever. And instead of using the tools that we have and using the things that we know we can do, we get in an equal exchange with ourselves. We say, I'm never going to be a leader like so-and-so. I'm never going to be able to have a big team like them. I'm not going to be Diamond. I can just handle it with my little gold paycheck. And I'm not saying gold is little, but I'm just saying that's what we feed to ourselves, because any paycheck you get is a wonderful paycheck. It is life-changing for a lot of people. But we talk to ourselves like that. We get in unequal exchange with ourselves, and we limit what we can do. My challenge is to you today, what are you in unequal exchange with yourself about? What have you talked yourself out of? We have done all the trainings. We've done everything. You've done it. You know that you know how. So what are you limiting yourself with today? I want to end with this. My favorite book says, "For I know the plans that I have made for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future." I believe each one of you watching this, God has planned for you to have a hope and a future in Plexus. I believe that He knows those plans for you, and He's called you to do some things that you're not doing because you feel like you can't. He didn't give you the plans and give you the means to do it to hurt you. What He did is He gave them to you to prosper you. So what are you going to do with the things that He's give you? And that's my thing for today. And I want you to know that I pray for each and every one of you. And if I can help you, give me a call.